Hey guys, Butler Bulldog Bill here once again on this beautiful, nice, cold, fall-like summer day here in southern Indiana. I woke up this morning to ice on my windshield, which is quite interesting to say the least. I'm a cold weather kind of guy. I love it. I can handle it. I'm wearing shorts and t-shirt in 30-degree weather sometimes. So the quicker we can get fall and winter here, the happier I'm going to be. But as far as football is concerned, starting with my teams, the Green Bay Packers, starting with them, they won the game Thursday Night Football this past week 23-10 against the Chicago Bears. And I'll tell you what, I said last week the Packers would win this game, which they did, and I said they needed to establish a running game. They did a decent job of that. Cedric Benson got 81 yards on 20 attempts. They didn't get the 100-yard mark, which is what I was hoping to see, but 81 yards was enough to get the win. The Bears defense, I've got to say, did a pretty good job on the Packers offense. You know, holding Benson to 81 yards. Rodgers only had 219 yards and 1 touchdown. They got an interception on him. Rodgers usually, is throwing for over 300 yards every game, but to hold him to 219, that's quite a statistic, and that just goes to show we got to respect the Bears in that, in that area. That's the only area I'm going to respect them in. One of our touchdowns did come on a fake, so, like I said, pretty decent job by the Bears. Where they did not do a very good job at was on the offensive end, and Jay Cutler, he looked, the term the Bears fans like to use is bear down, and I guess that represents Jay Cutler because he spent a lot of time bearing down on the field, either by just falling to the ground or getting sacked a whole bunch. And the 4 interceptions he threw were really nice too, and we appreciate that here in Packer Nation. So a win is a win, 23-10. Our next game is Monday Night Football at the Seattle Seahawks. And Seattle is one of those teams, I don't take any opponent lightly, but after watching what Seattle did to Dallas on Sunday, I think they're going to be a lot tougher than people expect, especially playing at Seattle. Seattle has a great home crowd. They're extremely loud. And Russell Wilson, he's looking like a good rookie quarterback. Very composed, doing a decent job there. They've got Sidney Rice, a great wideout threat. They've got, Marshawn Lynch, great runner. They're a pretty good team. Can't take them lightly. So can't wait to be playing them on Monday Night Football. I think Green Bay will win this game, but I think it might be closer than what a lot of people would expect. I'd say around within a touchdown. So, you always have those games that are closer than what you think would happen, and I think this could be one of those games for the Packers. The Butler Bulldogs had a loss on Saturday. They played at Dartmouth, the Big Green. Butler lost this game 35-7 to drop to 1-2 on the season for football. And we just got outplayed. Dartmouth, one of those Ivy League schools. But what this is? This is an effect from having played a really tough schedule. I mean, look at these teams: Western Illinois, Franklin College, Dartmouth, Campbell, Dayton, Valparaiso, Marist, Morehead State, Davidson, Jacksonville, Drake. I mean, that is a murderer's row of opponents that we've got to play in football. And winning these games will do just huge wonders for our BCS hopes. Starting the season 1-2, you think that's bad, but it's good to get those losses out early, because if you look at a team like LSU, about 5 years ago, I believe it was, they won the BCS National Championship with 2 losses. We've got 2 losses now, and they're out of the way early. So we win these games. I mean, look at next week's game. Campbell, the Fighting Camels, and they're called the Fighting Camels for a reason, because they have a lot of fight in them. They're a very difficult team to play. Luckily, we'll be at home, so we can turn this around and we can win the rest of these games, and our BCS hopes will be okay. So, I mean, it's only been done once before, a 2-loss team win the national championship, but I believe it can be done again. Butler Bulldogs will be your BCS national champions. I'm not concerned in the least. I mean, the schedule is difficult. I mean, it's extremely hard, but we will get through it. And we will be the 2012 BCS national champions. Count on it, my friends. My Columbus East Olympians, high school football. Columbus East played at New Albany High School last Friday night, the New Albany Bulldogs. They had only had one loss going into that game while we were ranked #1 in 4A football. And we defeated New Albany 31-0. Or I'm sorry, 31-7, excuse me. New Albany, a pretty decent team. They've much improved over the last 2 years. Columbus East still right up there every year, as always. And New Albany was a tough test in that first quarter. But I'll tell you what, our defense did an astounding job. New Albany didn't even score until, like, garbage time in the fourth quarter. So it was 31-0 before New Albany scored. They got the garbage touchdown. New Albany's a pretty good team, and but they just played a better team. So good luck to New Albany for the rest of the season. Columbus East goes on to play. I don't even remember who we're playing next, but you will see on the next video next week. But I don't think it really matters. We're #1 in the coaches poll in 4A. We're #1 in the media poll in 4A. We've won conference championship for the last, I don't know how many years it's been now. 8 years, and we're working on #9, I believe. So I think we should get this wrapped up again this year. So once again, Columbus East improves to 5-0, 3-0 in the conference, and looking forward to the next game. Another bad week of fantasy football. Got my butt beat 80-46, if you can see at the bottom there. Dropped to 0-2 in my 18-team league. Of course, I would be playing Eli Manning this week, who got 26 points for my opponent in his 510-yard game. While I had the other Manning, who is usually pretty awesome. Look at that. 7 points, and I'm lucky to even get that with those 3 interceptions he had in the first quarter, Monday night. I wasn't sure if he was trying to break Brett Favre's career interceptions record in one game or what, the way he started it off, but thanks a lot, Peyton. Yeah, and, what the crap, man. This is Antonio Gates. Toughen up, dude. Start playing some freaking football and stop sitting the bench. It's pretty sad when my highest scorer here was Steven Gostkowski. He's a freaking kicker. Look at this. Wes Welker finally decides to show up this week after his tight end gets hurt, and I don't even have him in because he sucked so bad last week. Well, it's not really his fault. The Patriots don't want to throw him the ball. I don't know if it's over a contract issue or what. Rumor is they're thinking about trading him, but yeah, 0-2 in my in my division, 0-2 in the league, I guess I should say. Facing an 0-2 person next week. I've got Harper Elite there. But I've claimed some good players off the waivers. They're supposed to score some points. Got a running back, I think. I got a receiver that scores some points. So I think there's going to be a turnaround. This is the 3rd time in the 4 years I've done fantasy football that I've started 0-2. And the 2 previous times I started 0-2, I end up going all the way to my league championship game. So not really a bad sign, but I've got to get it picked up from here or I'm screwed. But here's another bad thing. Of the total points scored so far in the 2 weeks this season, I have scored the least in my entire league. I've got 104. Look at this. 144, 139, people scoring 190, 170s, 220 there for that guy. 116 is the next closest one. I've only scored 104 points. Luckily, I'm only giving up 164, but that's not really under my control. So that's just people I'm playing. It's not taking a whole lot for them to beat me because I'm scoring so little. Nevertheless, hopefully I get this turned around, and we'll see what happens from here.